Making the news tonight, Governor Soludo urges Anambra to imbibe team home philosophy. JAM candidates commend each free exercise in Oka and environs. NIMET workers call off strike after federal government intervention. And on the foreign scene, Russia's strike kills 5 people in Ukraine as U.S. envoy Witkoff arrives in Moscow. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business, and for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operatives for a better security of lives and property. Remember, the emergency numbers to call are 5111 and 0800-2200-008. Good evening. My name is Ajuluchukwu Okabwe. Welcome to ABS News. As part of his commitment to transparent and accountable governance, Governor Chukwuma Soludo has met with Anambra indigents in the diaspora and provided updates on his administration's progress and professionals in business leaders. The governor's press secretary, Christian Naburime, in a report, said that the governor has consistently been accountable to the people of Anambra State, his employers, since his 3 years in office. We have the report.
He noted that the town hall meeting with Anambra citizens in London marks the highlight of a successful strategic diaspora engagement tour, which has already garnered positive responses in Lagos and Abuja. He stated that Governor Soludo believes accountability in governance is a virtue that must start at home, demonstrated locally before being showcased globally. Governor Soludo said that most professionals and business traders in the diaspora possess networks, expertise, and investment capacity that could accelerate development back home, and urged them to think home.
Towards a new Anambra, and we got to go back to basics in the mind. We need to take back our land, and we are going to take it back in a manner it's going to be disruptive, and we have begun the new Homeland Security Law.
Anambra Commissioner of Police, CP Ikeoye Orotugu, has called for greater community engagement, resources, and intelligence to improve the security operations of the police command. CP Orotugu made the call during a town hall meeting in Oka, Anambra State. The meeting was aimed at interacting with the citizens, especially in the Anambra, where thoughts on security concerns were provoked, while other security stability of the state was also x-rayed and suggestions proffered to improve security and safety in the state. In his remark, the CP reiterated the need for alternative dispute resolution, ADR, to resolve issues bordering on disputes over land, such as kingship tussles, boundary issues, farmers' headers clashes, and or other related issues. The police boss recognized that security is a collective responsibility and that community involvement is essential to achieving lasting peace and stability. In attendance were other sister agencies like NSCDC, FRSC, traditional rulers, vigilante groups, civil society groups, pressmen, women groups, different Anambra State youth forums, and other relevant stakeholders. Candidates at the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, have described the exercise as a smooth and itch-free experience at some centers visited in Oka and its environs, which began nationwide on Thursday. The annual examination administered by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, is a gateway for admission into Nigerian universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. Chibuzo Obidike now reports.
This year's computer-based test, CBT, runs from Thursday, 24th April to Monday, 5th May, with over 2 million candidates registered for the exam, an increase from the 1.9 million recorded in the 2024 exercise. 3 candidates, Stella Maris, Nwata, Gloria Honora, and Chukwujeku Evans, confirmed there was no issues with the system during the section and revealed that the examination was simple as they have read very well and are expecting above 300 score.
I believe that if you prepare, if you know what you're doing, it won't be that hard. And from what I'm seeing, it wasn't that hard. It's good for those that read their book. If you not read your book, it will be difficult for you. But for me, the exam was...
Based on what people normally say on them, the exam was surprisingly simple. If you read through your past questions and study hard, you can easily pass jump.
A parent, Mrs. Vivian Enemore, who said she was at the venue waiting for her son during the second exercise, expressed satisfaction with the accreditation till after the examination, pointing out that there were no complaints and prayed for the success of all candidates.
First people so what also na how abanye kwa what also so go see any na aga of mania.
All efforts to get reaction from JAMB supervisor at the centers visited proved abortive.
The newly built St. Mary's Catholic Church, Eziagulu Otu Aguleri, Anambra East Council area, has been dedicated to God by Most Reverend Dennis Isuzo. The dedication mass also had priests, reverend sisters, church organizations, the church benefactor Chief Lawrence Chinwuba, and family, including lay faithful in attendance. Kenechukwu Chukudi was there and now reports.
His homily, Most Reverend Isuzo, emphasized that dedication is handing over the church to God to become a place of true worship, salvation of souls, and God's teachings, commending Chief Chunwoba for contributing immensely to the building of the church. Chief Chinwuba emphasized that the church was built in appreciation for God's goodness upon his family. It was built for about 10 years, gradually and steadily, and he would always show appreciation to God with his family by empowering people annually.
My family and I built it in appreciation for God's kindness to us. So the joy is unlimited. That community has a brand new church. I'm very, very happy. I'm overjoyed.
The parish priest, Reverend Father Rufus Echefu, in his remark, appreciated the benefactor of the church, Chief Lawrence Chunwoba, and all who have in little and magnificent ways contributed to the building of the church, praying for God's blessings upon all, while Justice Jude Obiora commended Chief Chunwoba for his gesture in appreciation to God, as it is a way of preaching God's gospel to all. From Eziagulu to Aguleri, it's been Kenechukwu.
Workers of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, have called off their strike after the federal government's intervention. The workers had protested over poor working conditions, grounding flights across the country on Thursday. But after a meeting with the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, in Abuja, the strike was called off. The workers were concerned over the non-implementation of the new national minimum wage, ignoring requests to include omitted staff in past allowances and neglecting key training programs, among other matters. The meeting was attended by the Director General, NIMET, officials of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, the National Union of Transport Employees, and other key stakeholders. Others were Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service, Technical and Recreational Services Employees, Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals, and the National Union of Air Transport Employees, among others. Flight activities have been disrupted at local airports following the strike by NIMET workers. The strike, which has lingered for 2 days, has left passengers on scheduled local flights stranded at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, and others. And over to our foreign news. U.S. President Donald Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff has met President Vladimir Putin in Moscow hours after Russia killed at least 5 people in Ukraine. The governor of the Dnipropetrovsk, Chevy Lusek, said a child was among the 3 people killed overnight in Friday in Russian drone attacks on Ukraine's central industrial city of Pavlograd. He said that 14 people were also wounded in attack on a 5-story building, including a 6-year-old boy and teenagers aged 15 and 17. 5 of the wounded remained in the hospital, he added. 2 more people were killed on Friday morning in the next region, Yerova settlement, where an aerial bomb was dropped on a residential building. According to the next regional prosecutors, Ukraine's Air Force said Russia launched 103 drones in overnight attacks across Ukraine, causing damage in 5 regions. And over to sports news. The Nigeria Football Federation has launched a crackdown on referees who may be involved in match fixing as the country's football leagues reach decisive stages. An internal memo signed by the secretary of the NFF Refereeing Development Committee, Mohamed Aminu. The federation warned all referees in Nigeria Premier Football League, National League, and Nigeria Women's Football League and the Nationwide League 1, which kick off on Wednesday, to uphold fairness and protect the reputation of the game. The NFF fears that clubs, their agents, and other football stakeholders may attempt to influence referees to gain an unfair advantage. In response, the federation has set up an independent monitoring committee to observe all matches and report any suspicious behavior. According to the NFF, the new monitoring committee will operate independently with members deployed across all match centers to observe and report any actions that go against the rules or damage the image of refereeing. The wife of the late Enugu-born footballer and former Rangers international player, Mr. Christian Chukwugeku Isidinso, Madam Uju Egolum Isiadinso of the Programs Department, Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, alongside the entire Isiadinso family, friends and well-wishers have paid their last respects to the deceased who passed away at the age of 64 years. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo was there and now reports.
All Practical Christian Ministry Enugu and the immediate past chairman of Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, Enugu chapter, Reverend Emmanuel Okolo, reminded Christians of the need to amend their lives and to quit sinful lifestyles which, according to them, will hinder one from inheriting heaven after life on earth. In their various interviews, the first daughter of the deceased, Mrs. Nneamaka Umezine Isiadinso, and second daughter, Lady Chioma Isiadinso, described their late father as unique and exceptional person who throughout his lifetime valued his family and those around him, promising to uphold all the legacies he left behind. For the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of ABS, Mr. Christopher Molohu, Chairman, House Committee on Works, and member representing Orumba South at the Anambra State House of Assembly, Honorable Emanwafo, former MD of ABS, Chief Uche Nwora, and an ex-Rangers player, Mr. Arthur Ebunam, the family of the deceased should be consoled by the good life and legacies he left behind, and should always trust in God in times of difficulties.
Verse 18, verse 21, see the issue of life and death is in the tongue. Well,
I pray that even in our so I pray that
who's gone to the great beyond lived a good life. Death is a debt everyone must pay.
Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television, Oka, and on X at ABS Radio TV, and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradio.com. Before we go, a look at the main point again. Governor Soludo has urged Anambra to imbibe think-home philosophy. JAM candidate has commended heat-free exercise in Oka and environs. NIMET workers have called off strike after federal government intervention. And on the foreign scene, we brought to you Russia strikes have killed 5 people in Ukraine as U.S. envoy Witkoff in Moscow. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business, and for us to live, to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operatives for a better security of lives and property. Remember, the emergency numbers to call are 5111 and 0800-2200-008. And that's the size of our package this evening. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Ajuluchukwu Okagwe. Have a pleasant night rest.